So we're right in the middle of some reassembly here. Got it all tore down, cleaned up. It's new gaskets. They're really on a four-wheel drive. The only seal I had to replace is in this front snout here. There's gaskets there, right back here. And there's going to be a gasket here, and the top gasket. Then we'll get to a PTO gasket when we put the PTO on. Interesting thing I found out was that you have to stack up gaskets here to shim up the front bearings. It's actually a tapered roller, so it's like 7/1000ths of back and forth clearance that you need. So it's really a little bit, but with one gasket there was nothing. I had to put 3 in there to get this one to clear up. The Pat came with 4, so I was wondering about that, so I looked it up, and you have to adjust the clearance on that. But anyway, we're going to get this bolted back together and then do some primer and paint. So as you can see, I got this all painted up now. Got the bell housing set on there to check some clearances, but it's pretty well ready to bolt up the transfer case. I'm gonna wait on the PTO because I was noticing some clearance issues with the bell housing here, so I needed to bolt it all up first so I can figure out which way I need to set everything. But that's pretty much it. Now we got to put this all in and get the motor in, and we'll be set. So I got the transmission transfer case bolted together here. About ready to put it into the truck. Ran into a slight problem here. This one here is the caution that came out of it for manual transmission. The problem is, since I'm switching to a 205, the space where the offset where the output is closer to the transmission than versus farther away, like it was on the one that was in there, which some aluminum case one. Anyway, so went out to my other parts rig, and I got one for an automatic transmission, and looks like the mount up is going to be the same and everything, except this one actually has a brand new mount with the isolator made into it. This one here is kind of weird. I couldn't find any isolators for it, but it has one there and one over here where the bolts go through. But anyway, but the thing is, this one here drops down a lot sooner than this one here. This one's hopefully going to allow me some room for the drive shaft for the front. Anyway, we're going to get this thing hoisted up in the air and that crossmember put underneath it and see how it looks. So I got the motor here about ready to go in. Transmission, transfer case are pretty much bolted in. Transmission mount's a little loose, so we can slide it back and forth to get the right alignment there. New clutch, resurfaced flywheel, and pretty much ready to go. The only problem being is this piece here for the clutch linkage, that is. This is off a 6-cylinder. I think it has a 9/16 thread, where there's V8 one right here has a 1/2 inch. So we got 2 options here. Either drill that hole there out and retap it for 9/16, or go and see if I can find one of these with a 1/2 inch that's correct for a V8. So I got some extra engines laying around. I'll have to see if they're in it or not. But that's pretty much the only thing holding us back from getting ready to drop this thing in, because I don't want to have to drill it when it's in the frame and have to worry about that stuff over there being in the way. So got the engine pretty well bolted in. Got to do some more plumbing, whatnot, but it's set in there. Go underneath here. Got a custom mount here made for the transfer case. These 205s need a support on the side. That's the way they are factory, so I went ahead and made one. What I went and did was energy suspension has some universal polyurethane bushings that I used for that. But got this all pretty well tucked up in here. The next thing is this PTO right here. Got it all ready to go in. There was a shim right here. It's a little too thick and don't get the right gear mesh. So we're gonna go get that machine down. And after that, it should bolt right on there with the right gear mesh. I think the next step's going to be doing the remote battery so I can start doing the wiring and plumbing for the engine. But until then, this is where we're at right now. Also, one thing before we leave is the clutch linkage. These early 80s had mechanical linkage. They had a stud that went in the block right there, and a pivot part that went over here on the frame. I'm still trying to get the bushings for that. It seems to be a little bit hard to find at the parts store. You can get them on LMC Truck, but they want $10 for shipping for something that should only take 2 postage stamps. So I'm still trying to work that out.